is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Okmade, and this is Africa Now. A military court in Uganda on Monday released 18 supporters of opposition leader Bobi Wine on bail. Their release comes after 17 activists from a group of 35 who were arrested in December 2020 for flouting COVID-19 rules by gathering were released in May. The lawyers of the detained supporters, George Musisi, said they spent 6 months in jail over charges that were simply punishment for supporting the opposition. Bobi Wine has amassed a large support base over the years, especially among the Ugandan youths. Sudan's Water Minister Yasser Abbas on Monday said the country will only strike a deal with Ethiopia over its Nile dams if all the terms that have been already agreed on will be signed and if there is guarantee that negotiations will continue. Downstream Egypt and Sudan have been pushing upstream Ethiopia to sign a deal over the filling and operation of its mega dam on the Blue Nile. Sudan hopes the project will help in regulating yearly flooding, but fears its own dams will be harmed without agreement on its operations. Reports say the former president of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, is receiving treatment for an undisclosed illness at a military hospital in the capital, Lusaka. Roderick Ngolo, his administrative assistant, revealed in a statement that the 97-year-old has been sick and had been admitted to the Maina Soko Medical Center. Kenneth Kaunda ruled Zambia from 1964 to 1991 after the country gained independence from Britain. He is one of the few surviving people who fought for Africa's freedom. Ethiopia has launched a preventive oral cholera vaccination campaign for 2 million people from age 1 and above in Tigray region in the north of the country. The vaccination campaign, which will help prevent a potential outbreak of cholera, started on the 10th of June. It will take place in 13 districts in Tigray. The campaign will be led by the Ethiopian Public Health Institute and the Tigray Regional Health Bureau, supported by the Ethiopian Pharmaceutical Supply Agency, the World Health Organization, and other partner organizations. 3 members of the Al-Shabaab armed group have been listed for sanctions during the reporting period to further help the federal government of Somalia fight the insurgents, the chair of the Security Council sanctions regime for the country says on Monday. Permanent representatives of Ireland to the United Nations and chair of the Security Council Committee, pursuant to the Resolution 751 of 1992 concerning Somalia, says an updated sanction list can be a significant tool in supporting the federal government of Somalia in its fight against Al-Shabaab. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now. We move to business stories after the break. So stay tuned. Welcome back. In business, top development banks from the world's richest countries have made a groundbreaking joint pledge to pump $18 billion into African firms and projects such as climate change over the next 5 years. The pledge was the first time the development finance institutions from the United States, Europe, and other group of 7 wealthy nations have made a collective commitment to the African continent. David Marchik, Chief Operating Officer to the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, said investing in Africa was now a top priority under the Biden administration. Kenya's electricity sector is expected to benefit from part of the expected $750 million funding from the World Bank. Electricity costs could reduce gradually, and this would be a relief to millions of power consumers in the country who have often complained of huge power bills not commensurate to the service. A statement from the World Bank says the policy operations also prioritizes energy sector reforms to improve electricity access and clean energy sources. Still in business, the International Finance Corporation report says Africa could nearly add $15 billion to the value of its total e-commerce business by 2030 if women in the continent match their sales on digital platforms to that of their male counterparts by 2025. The report covered studies on women in Kenya, Nigeria, and Cote d'Ivoire. The World Bank found that sector switching is an important path for women to close earnings gap, suggesting that high-earning categories on e-commerce can boost performance for women entrepreneurs in the long term. Now to South Africa, to Angola. Angola's National Fuel Society announced that it is selling partial stakes held in 8 blocks in order to release its investment portfolio. The announcement was made on Monday by Ricardo van der Ster, the chairperson of the Executive Committee of Senegal Exploration and Production Unit. According to Senegal's Executive Director Joachim de Sousa Fernandez, the state oil company has financial needs amounting to $7 billion until 2027. De Sousa said there are expenses and commitments related to investments in developing fields, maintenance of equipment, payment of debts with the banks, and cash call. Now in South Africa, more than 1,000 people have rushed to Wahatli village in South Africa's KwaZulu's native province on Monday after unidentified stones were discovered in the area. This comes after the news of a herdsman who dug up the first stone on an open field which some believe to be the quartz crystal was heard. Villagers in South Africa have been digging since Saturday. The Mines Department said geological and mining experts will be sent to the site to get samples and carry out analysis, and formal technical reports will be issued. The government has also asked everyone to leave the site as the gathering could encourage the spread of COVID-19. And that is it on Africa Now. For more updates, do visit our website at www.TOS TVNetwork.com. Do follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Okmade. Thanks for watching.